Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Sister Wives, despite his best efforts, Kody Brown's apologies may not be sufficient to improve the situation with his elder children because so much has transpired. Kody has changed. The gregarious, cheerful man of his youth has vanished, replaced with a cynical stare, a tougher, thinner face, and a great deal of resentment and mistrust. However, Robyn Brown's husband does have some tenderness in him. A message of optimism is sent by extending the olive branch. Kody and his ex-partners argued over the unsold Coyote Pass property during Sister Wives Season 19, delaying a sale. He might have been attempting to manipulate them or get a rise out of them. Later on, though, Kody increased Janelle and Mary Brown's ownership stake in the Arizona property. He then put the house up for sale. Each woman received $305,000 in actual money, which probably lessened the impact of historical tragedies like more apathetic spiritual unions. Kody stated in the most recent Sister Wives episode that he has been keeping in touch with Michael T. Brown and two of his older sons. Together, they were in Utah. All of this is encouraging, but the sons' identities remain a mystery. He has been repeating the idea that his kids should come to him for help for years. This way of thinking proved to be incorrect, since Kody felt that it was their duty to mend the rifts with him. He is responsible for providing love and care because he is the father. The fact that he isn't a safe place to fall is also what his older children from other mothers seem to dislike the most. They're looking for a parent who truly supports them. How can a father serve as an emotional safety net if he isn't there? When Kody spends time with his children, he solves this puzzle. He may win the game and start a new era of togetherness by interacting with his kids instead of waiting for them to initiate contact. This could be quite consoling for the middle-aged father. As the video above illustrates, Season 19 hasn't exactly been an enjoyable ride thus far. Since Kody is no longer a teenager, he must put these priceless relationships first. But it's possible that there's too much animosity despite sincere attempts to make things better. In any case, he ought to give it a shot, and if he doesn't succeed, try again. Making one's own child feel respected, safe, and loved is the most essential thing in the world. Our man in Flagstaff, Kody, is not a spy from a book by John le Carre. There was love in his heart that he could never conceal. It was obvious to all that Robyn had enchanted him. He may have profited from hiding that unpleasant reality, but nobody should have to live a life of deceit. He didn't really have to, of course. Kody's cover was exposed the moment Robyn entered his life. In a plural marriage, he was obviously a monogamous man. That caused him a great deal of agony, as well as the others. Sadly, a number of the others were kids who had to witness their dad show off his affections for a lady who wasn't their mother. They had to witness their mother's disappointment, jealousy, and sorrow. Her child's mind and memory would be etched with the expression in her eyes when things weren't going well. It would make them think less of their dad. Kody actually thinks this is the case. He has claimed that his love for Robyn is the cause of his issues with his kids. Perhaps he is being punished for his preference for her. Despite feeling tormented, he is completely devoted to Robyn. However, Kody can soar now that he is not trapped in the mental prison of unwanted polygamy. Pretending is no longer necessary for him. With his children, he can be himself. Authenticity like that has the power to transform everything. He should let his kids know who he truly is, even though he shouldn't flaunt his happiness with Robyn and their romance might not be ideal anyhow. Now, he should find it simpler to be honest with his children in a typical marriage. The most important thing is to see the true person behind the mask. The most comforting thing of all is getting to know someone well. Thus, Kody gave his heart to a single woman a long time ago. But he appeared to be acting honorably when he gave up a portion of his 97% stake in the land. Kody was trying to act more like a gentleman, possibly because he was afraid of Janelle and Mary's threats to lawyer up. This experiment seems like the best course of action. It is a caring, tactful, and wise course of action. Above, Paydon used Instagram to share a joyful event with other Brown children. Kody ought to appear in more pictures like these. Kody chose to divide the Coyote Pass money, quite a sum of money, for whatever reason. He will most likely find it simpler to reintegrate into his elder children's lives with non-Robyn mothers as a result. Janelle, for instance, has significant financial issues. Giving their mother more than $300,000 to help her will make him popular with their kids. If prior transgressions are sins, they will still have a lasting impact. His goal is to make things more amicable with Mykelti. He has a history of disparaging his kids. For instance, he once dubbed Maddie Brown a gossip, which greatly enraged her. Another youngster told her what he said: "It is really inappropriate for Kody to discuss his kids behind their backs. That is a violation of privacy and trust. Children must have faith in their parents. Maybe things with Mykelti aren't as horrible as all that. Less damage might need to be fixed." Gwendolyn Brown and Peyton Brown both have deeply ingrained problems. Gwendolyn resorted to the media to expose her father's financial irresponsibility after Peyton exposed his father as a COVID-19 anti-vaxxer. Additionally, these children violated their father's privacy and confidence, which harmed their relationship with him. Yet, he is the dad, and they are the children. It is his responsibility to take what they give him, examine himself, and improve. Sister Wives Kody Brown is headed in the correct direction. He has stopped the negative thoughts that were poisoning his mind, the shifting of blame, and the retreat into ego that were preventing him from moving forward. He is aiming higher and reaching for more. He can only benefit from this. I support Kody in his efforts to control his own demons and stop the flow of animosity. Don't you think he can make things better? The recent episodes of Sister Wives Season 19 that focused on Garrison's untimely death and funeral have made the show extremely emotional. How the Brown family handled the devastating loss has been chronicled in the episodes. On social media, though, some fans are criticizing the film crew for a major error they made during the poignant scene. To find out why, continue reading. Sister Wives: The disputations around Kody Brown amid the funeral for Garrison. Kody earlier made waves when a source from the funeral for Garrison stated that some of Janelle's relatives weren't pleased with his and Robyn's attendance. According to the source, Kody and Robyn were informed by Janelle's family that they are not welcome at the funeral, particularly if they are film crews. However, Kody and Robyn continued to show up with cameras in tow, reportedly escalating the funeral's tensions. Additionally, Kody has stated that he wants to take Garrison's remains and bury them himself. The final decision regarding her son's last resting place, which ultimately took place in Wyoming, was still up to Janelle. However, some Sister Wives fans believe TLC made a bigger error regarding Garrison's death in the midst of all the purported funeral problems. Fans point out season's biggest TLC error. On social media, some fans talked about the most recent Sister Wives Season 19 episode. One of Janelle's interviews about Garrison is included. The poster claims that after telling Janelle, "I didn't know him much," one of the producers made a grave error in their interview. "Give me some brief anecdotes about him." According to the OP, asking a bereaved mother questions was harsh because it would only serve to remind them of the loss. The way David Woolley, Christine Brown's husband, handled the matter, however, impressed the large number of admirers. In order to help Janelle remember just the positive times she shared with Garrison, he asked her about her favorite stories about him. David's strategy was excellent. He made Christine reflect on the fun times, the giggles, and the aspects of Garrison that she cherished. The fact that he has experienced this kind of loss with his wife and is aware that it never truly goes away certainly helps. You simply learn to keep going. To a certain degree, David could relate to her pain. Although losing a spouse is not the same as losing a child, he recognized the anguish because of how they both passed away. David is a wonderful illustration of a responsible, mature man who puts the needs and desires of others before his own. Kody's complete opposite. That scene significantly altered my opinion of David. He treated Christine with consideration and empathy. He appears to know how to support her and has an understanding of loss and grief. Before this episode, I informed my spouse that I only saw David as a beige flag. It was encouraging to see that Christine found someone who cared about more than simply her appearance, as that was my worry. Sister Wives: Did TLC pass up this great chance? In the same discussion thread, some Sister Wives viewers also talked about how TLC might have lost out on something with David Woolley. One of the commentators claimed that TLC made a grave error by using David as a platform for Christine to discuss Kody and draw parallels everywhere. The reviewer went on to say that with David's maturity and excellent parenting skills, they could have made a better decision for him. Kody Brown is still grieving, for the most pitiful and comprehensible of reasons. The father of 17 spoke candidly and emotionally on the most recent Sister Wives episode about what it has been like since his son Garrison died in March 2023 from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. You experience grief in waves. About 4 months after Garrison committed suicide at the age of 25, the 56-year-old said on camera, "When it hits me, I can't run from it." Kody and his ex-wife, Janelle Brown, shared Garrison. And in this episode, he went on, "I can cut it short if I cry it out or sob it out, but I can't stop it from affecting me when that wave comes." Apart from the joint statement he and his ex-partner issued following Garrison's death, Kody was relatively silent. "Kody and I regret to inform you of the passing of Robert Garrison Brown, our lovely son. For everyone who knew him, he was a source of joy. We shall be left speechless by the void his passing will create in our lives. We kindly ask that you respect our privacy and join us in paying tribute to him." Garrison has been laid to rest in Wyoming, as Janelle explained in this same episode. Garrison's ashes should be buried next to his grandma and his grandpa and, just kind of finish the circle, Kody stated on May 11th. "The first person to hold him was me. My son is this. He was rocked to sleep by me. I go through this phase of sorrow." When Garrison died last year, Kody wasn't speaking to him. During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, they had argued over Kody's extremely stringent standards for his family. As he reflected on the status of his relationship with his deceased son, Brown broke down in tears on television. "There are moments when it will overwhelm me without warning. It was almost like an anxiety attack," he said. "I have a strong, overpowering sensation that I won't see him ever again. There are a lot of things left undone and unsaid. Going ahead, Kody will make every effort to remember this child." Kody remarked, "I will always see Garrison's poster in my garage and wonder what was missed in the future that would have been." And moving with grief, to make your blood sweet instead of bitter from the pain, is a game of consciousness. Kody has already talked about Garrison and how depressed he is over everything that transpired. "It's simply devastating." Using Garrison's first name, Robert, Kody informed Robyn on Live, "Rob and I didn't get a chance to really just make things right, just not being able to say goodbye. I feel like I need to do something different because I could have spent more time with him and I assumed there would be more time," the speaker said. "I simply don't know what to do with his passing." Kody Brown's attempt to reach out to his older kids, the strained relationship that might never heal. Is Payton ready to forgive his father? Introduction. The Brown family drama intensifies. Kody Brown, the controversial patriarch of the Sister Wives family, is no stranger to public scrutiny. His relationships with his wives and children have been under the microscope for years. But in recent months, Kody has been reaching out to his older children in a bid to repair the fractured relationships with his offspring. However, could it be that some of them, including his son Payton, will never forgive him for his past actions? This dramatic turn of events has fans and insiders alike wondering, is it too late for Kody to mend fences with his estranged children, or are the wounds too deep for healing? Read on as we dive deep into the controversial moves Kody is making and the bitter fallout that may follow. The fallout from Kody's marriages, a web of discontent. For years, Kody Brown has struggled to maintain a balanced relationship with his 4 wives, Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. But as the years wore on, his relationships with his children, especially the older ones from his first marriage to Mary, began to deteriorate. The emotional distance between Kody and his older kids reached new heights in 2025, leaving many fans to speculate if the damage could ever be undone. His strained relationships with his older children are the subject of much discussion on Sister Wives, and as the show progresses, fans are getting a closer look at the personal turmoil Kody has endured. This tension is particularly visible in his interactions with his older children, including Paydon Brown, one of Kody's sons who has long been vocal about his fractured relationship with his father. Kody's attempts to reconnect. Is it too little, too late? Kody's attempts to reach out to Paydon and other older children may be seen as a desperate move to salvage something from the wreckage of his once expansive family. However, the backlash has been fierce, with many of his children refusing to entertain the idea of reconciliation. Paydon, in particular, has been very vocal about his feelings toward his father, and he has made it clear that he doesn't take Kody's actions lightly. Paydon's words have sent shockwaves through the Brown family, and many fans are wondering if Kody's attempts at reconnecting are nothing more than a futile exercise in appeasing public opinion. "I don't need him in my life," Paydon recently said in a tell-all interview, where he opened up about the emotional wounds left by his father's choices. Could this be the final nail in the coffin for any hope of a reunion? Kody and Paydon's history. A relationship shrouded in pain. The relationship between Kody and Paydon has always been rocky. Paydon has been one of the most outspoken of Kody's older children, and his resentment toward his father has been building for years. While Kody has always had a complicated relationship with his children, Paydon's disdain for him seems to have reached a breaking point. Paydon has expressed frustration over what he perceives as Kody's lack of involvement in his life. He's also made it clear that Kody's priorities, his wives and younger children, have overshadowed the older kids, who felt neglected and abandoned. The tension between Kody and Paydon came to a head in 2025, when Paydon posted a scathing message on social media, calling out his father for being absent and emotionally distant. Why Paydon might never forgive Kody? The damage is too deep. While Kody's attempts to reconnect with his older children are noble, many insiders believe that the damage is simply too deep for any real healing to occur. Here's why Paydon and possibly other older kids might never forgive Kody. Neglect and emotional distance. For many years, Kody's focus was on his relationship with Robyn, which has caused rifts in his relationships with his older children. Paydon has spoken publicly about feeling neglected, and it's clear that Kody's divided attention and emotional distance have left lasting scars. Kody's prioritization of his younger children. Kody's relationship with his younger children has always been the focus of much of his energy. This has caused many of his older kids to feel like second-class citizens in their father's eyes. Paydon has mentioned in past interviews that he felt overshadowed by his younger siblings, which deepened the emotional gap between him and Kody. Kody's strained marital relationships. The constant drama between Kody and his wives, especially the splits with Christine and Janelle, has created an environment where his children have had to navigate their own feelings of resentment toward him. Kody's failure to balance his relationships with both his wives and his children has made the divide worse. For Paydon, witnessing the collapse of his parents' marriages from a young age has left him bitter and disappointed in his father's ability to maintain family harmony. The public exposure of their family issues. For the Brown family, everything is out in the open. Kody's personal life has been broadcast for millions to see, and his older children, especially Paydon, have felt that their struggles have been exposed to the public in a way that feels inauthentic and damaging. This breach of privacy has only added fuel to the fire of their strained relationship with Kody. Could Kody's attempts at reconciliation backfire? Despite his best efforts to reach out to Paydon and the other older children, Kody's approach may only exacerbate the tension. His public pleas for forgiveness may be seen as self-serving, with critics accusing him of using his children to salvage his image. In fact, sources close to the family believe that some of Kody's children are less than impressed with his attempts. "He's always been about appearances, and we're not falling for it," one insider revealed. Paydon, for example, has been vocal about feeling like his father's gestures are more about repairing Kody's public image than truly mending their relationship. This perception could make it even harder for Kody to regain the trust of his older children. Paydon's reflections. Is there room for healing? Despite the deep wounds, Paydon has hinted that, while forgiveness is difficult, he's open to the idea of healing in time. In an emotional Instagram post, he shared his thoughts on the possibility of reconciling with his father. "I don't know if I can forgive him right now. There's so much pain there," Paydon admitted. But maybe one day, we'll talk and work through it. I just need time. This moment of vulnerability has left fans wondering, could Kody and Paedon ever find common ground, or has their relationship reached an irreversible point of no return? The bigger question, is this the end of the Brown family as we know it? As Kody attempts to rebuild his relationship with his older children, the larger question remains, what's next for the Brown family? The fractured relationships, especially between Kody and his older children, may spell the end of an era for the Brown family dynamic. Could Kody's desire to fix things be too little, too late, or is there still hope for reconciliation in the future? One thing is for sure, the drama is far from over, and fans are eager to see how the story unfolds. Will Kody be able to make amends, or will he continue to face the consequences of his past actions? Only time will tell.